You wake up in complete silence. There's no phone buzzing beside your pillow, no traffic humming outside your window, no light seeping through your curtains. Something is off. The air smells wrong, like burnt wood and animal sweat. And your bed doesn't feel like a bed at all. It's lumpy, scratchy, and cold. You open your eyes. Straw. You're lying on a pile of damp straw. Above you, a roof made of wooden beams and thatch droops like it's about to cave in. There's no electric bulb, just a shaft of dusty sunlight coming through a hole in the roof. You try to sit up, but your body feels stiff and sore. You reach for your phone instinctively, but there's nothing there. No pockets, no jeans, no hoodie, just rough, itchy wool hanging over your body. A tunic. No socks, no shoes, just your bare feet pressed into the cold dirt floor. Your heart begins to race. Something scuttles across the floor beside you, something small, with too many legs. You recoil. You're surrounded by the creaks of wood, the rustle of rats in the walls, and the unmistakable snort of a goat nearby. You stand slowly and peek through a wooden door that barely hangs on its hinges. Outside, sunlight blinds you, and then it hits you. This isn't your home. This isn't your neighborhood. This isn't your time. You've woken up in the Middle Ages. Outside, the world looks like a forgotten village lost in time. Muddy paths snake between crumbling huts made of wattle and daub. Children, barefoot and dirty, chase chickens through puddles. A woman in a ragged dress empties a bucket of waste into the gutter running alongside the road. The smell is immediate and unbearable. Smoke, feces, rotting food, body odor. Everything you never noticed in your clean, filtered world is now here, in your lungs, and everyone is staring at you. You must look strange to clean, too confused, too different. You try to speak. Excuse me, where am I? The villagers step back, their eyes narrow. One man mutters something you can't understand. It sounds like English, but not the English you know. It's slurred, slow, and strange Middle English from 800 years ago. You realize, in a rush of panic, that you're not just stuck in another time, you're alone in it. No one speaks your language. No one knows who you are. And worse, they're suspicious. You reach out a hand, trying to seem calm, friendly. I don't mean any harm. They take another step back. Someone makes the sign of the cross. A child screams. The woman with the waste bucket throws the contents toward your feet. You jump back, but it's too late. Your legs are soaked in human waste. The stench is unbearable. The villagers are murmuring now. You hear words like stranger, witch, and curse. This isn't just awkward, it's dangerous. You need to leave. Fast, you duck into a narrow alley between huts and make your way toward the fields beyond the village. Every breath you take is thick with smoke and decay. The road is mud, churned by cartwheels and hoofprints. You're slipping with every step, soaked in sweat, filth, and fear. You need water, food, a place to think. But most of all, you need a plan. Because, let's be honest, you're not ready for this world. You don't know how to farm. You can't hunt. You can't even start a fire without a lighter. Every skill you have, texting, Googling, driving, streaming means nothing here in this world. People die from a bad cut, or spoiled meat, or a cold winter night. And the worst part, they don't even understand how. There's no science. Germ theory, no antibiotics, just superstition and prayer. You follow a stream downhill. At least it's fresh water, thank God. You kneel and drink directly from it, ignoring the floating leaves and questionable foam. You're too thirsty to care as you sit beside the stream, trying to think. A question haunts you. What if you're stuck here, permanently, no way home, no technology, no help? How would you survive? First, let's talk food. You're hungry, but there are no supermarkets, no restaurants, no packaged snacks. Hunting, you don't know how to load a bow. Trapping, good luck. Foraging, sure, if you know what's poisonous and what's not. One wrong berry, and your stomach will rebel in ways you've never experienced. If you're lucky, maybe a monastery nearby will offer bread to a wandering stranger. Maybe a farmer will give you stale ale or porridge in exchange for labor. But there's a catch. Labor means real work. 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Cutting wood, hauling water, plowing fields, grinding grain. Every bone in your body will ache. There are no breaks, no weekends, no ibuprofen. And you'll do all that just to eat bread made from stone-ground flour full of dirt and grit, cooked over open flame, soaked in broth made from animal bones. That's your meal. Every day now. What about shelter? You can't sleep in the woods, not without being attacked by wolves, bandits, or worse. You could try to sneak into a barn or stable, but if you're caught trespassing, that's a beating or worse. This isn't a world with police and due process. It's a world of brutal justice. Steal food, you could lose a hand. Caught lying, branding, caught without purpose, accused of being a vagabond, a term that often meant jail, torture, or execution. And God forbid someone thinks you're a sorcerer or a demon in human form. You can't explain your smartphone. You can't explain your accent. You can't even explain basic hygiene. Which brings us to another problem. Your body is too clean. In the Middle Ages, people didn't bathe every day. They didn't floss. They didn't use deodorant or shampoo. Your skin, your teeth, your entire posture screams outsider, and outsiders don't survive long. In a world terrified of disease and the devil, you are both. It won't take long before someone tries to test you, drown you in a pond to see if you float, burn your hair to see if it smells like sulfur. Tie you to a stake and pray while the flames rise, because they don't know who you are, and worse, they don't want to know. Let's say you try to fake it. You pick up a scythe, try your hand in the fields, pretend you belong, but everything you say sounds wrong. You don't know how to make holy gestures. You don't know the local saints. You don't know who's in charge, the local lord, the bishop, the reeve. And eventually, someone will ask for your papers, your identity, your lord, your birthright, your land. And when you can't produce any of that, you're no one, a stranger, with no name, no kin, and no reason to be here. In the Middle Ages, that's deadly. But let's say you survive long enough to learn. You find shelter in a church. You sweep floors for a few crumbs of bread. You listen to their language and slowly begin to understand. You learn to bow your head, to look busy, to say God wills it when questioned. Months pass. You grow thinner, harder. Your feet callous. Your hands bleed. You forget what warm water feels like. You stop trying to explain where you're from. You stop dreaming of home. Because dreaming gets people burned. One day, you hear about a war. A neighboring lord has been insulted. The king is calling for men. You're told to report. You have no armor, no sword, just a wooden spear and a rough tunic. And then you're marching for days across frozen hills, surrounded by plague, mud, and blood. The man beside you coughs black phlegm into the grass. Another collapses mid-march. No one stops. You fight in a field, knee-deep in blood and filth. Screams fill the air. Arrows rain down like locusts. You survive barely, only to be paid in moldy bread and a prayer. You return to a village that doesn't remember you, but something has changed. You've become one of them. Years pass. You forget the taste of coffee, the glow of a phone screen, the sound of engines, the feeling of clean sheets. You now sleep on straw and eat gruel and speak in half-formed, broken words. You don't smile anymore. You've buried children. You've watched plagues sweep through towns, leaving bodies stacked like firewood. You've knelt in church and begged for mercy from a God you barely believe in. And then, one morning, you wake up, back in your bed, warm, dry, soft sheets, your phone buzzing, morning light spilling through clean glass. You sit up, the ceiling is white, the air smelled of soap and coffee. A siren wails faintly in the distance. Your heart is pounding. Was it a dream? You rush to the bathroom, look in the mirror, it's you, same face, same eyes, but something's changed. You don't reach for your phone. You don't rush into your routine. You just sit, staring at your reflection. Because now, you understand something most people never will. History wasn't clean. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't noble. It was cruel, hard, unforgiving, and if you ever woke up in the Middle Ages, you probably wouldn't survive it. But somehow, now you feel grateful just to be here. Now, would you survive a week in the Middle Ages? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because time travel might be cool in movies, but in real life, it would absolutely ruin you.